What if every major decision in your life wasn't made by you, but by thousands of complete strangers on the internet? Sounds like a wild social experiment, right? Well, for one man, this was his reality. This is the story of Mike, a guy who handed over the reins of his life to the World Wide Web, letting anonymous users vote on everything from his job to his love life. It all started back in 2008. Mike was feeling a bit adrift, unsure of what to do next. So, he launched a website called Life on the Line. The premise was simple. He would present his life choices as poll questions, and the option with the most votes would be the path he had to take. No backing out, no exceptions. He literally put his life on the line, letting the internet hive mind be his guide. At first, the decisions were pretty tame. Should he grow a mustache? The internet said yes. Should he sleep on the floor instead of his bed? The internet, being the internet, also said yes. He documented all of this, sharing the results and his experiences. It was quirky, it was fun, and people started to notice. His website traffic grew, and soon, thousands of people were logging on every day to vote on Mike's life. But then, things started to get serious. The questions escalated from trivial daily choices to life-altering crossroads. The first big one: should I quit my job and leave my city? Mike lived in Chicago and had a stable job. It was a huge risk. But the internet voted overwhelmingly for him to pack his bags and hit the road. So he did. He quit his job, sold most of his belongings, and embarked on a journey across the country in a beat-up van, all funded by his website's ad revenue and donations. His destination: wherever the internet told him to go. Each new city was a new pole, whose journey became a real-life choose-your-own-adventure story, with the internet as the author. He couch-surfed. The community that had formed around his project started to feel invested in his happiness. They weren't just trolling him. They were genuinely trying to steer his life in a positive direction, or at least what they perceived as positive. The most significant decision came when the internet decided it was time for him to find love. A poll went up. Should Mike start dating? The answer was a resounding yes. But they didn't stop there. They voted on which dating sites he should use and even helped him craft his profile. Women could then apply to date him, and the community would vote on who he should take out. This led him to meet a woman named Sarah. After a series of votes, the internet chose her for him. They went on a date, and then another, and another. Each step of their budding relationship was put to a public vote. Should they have a second date? Should they become an exclusive couple? It was a romance played out in public, with thousands of people acting as digital matchmakers. Mike and Sarah genuinely connected. Think about that for a second. The collective wisdom, more perhaps the collective hopefulness of a crowd, can lead to surprisingly beautiful outcomes. Their relationship became a central storyline in the project. People were hooked. and the positive, constructive voices usually drowned out the negative ones. The project also raised fascinating questions about free will, identity, and the nature of decision-making. Was Mike truly living, or was he just an avatar for a digital audience? Who was he becoming? Was this new internet Mike the real Mike, or just a character he was playing? He often reflected on these questions in his blog, sharing his internal struggles with his followers. He admitted that while he had given up control, he had gained an incredible sense of freedom and adventure he never would have found on his own. After several years of living by the vote, the ultimate question was posed to the internet. Should Mike take back control of his life? It was the endgame, the final decision. After everything they had been through together, the travel, the jobs, the romance, what would his digital puppet masters decide? In a final, poignant act, the internet voted to set him free. They overwhelmingly decided that it was time for Mike to take the wheel of his own life again. It was a surprisingly touching conclusion. 2. The community that had so eagerly controlled his every move recognized that the experiment had run its course. They had guided him to a new city, a new love, and a new perspective on life. Now, it was time for him to live it on his own terms. So, what happened to Mike? He and Sarah, the woman the internet chose for him, got married. They settled down, and he started a new career, building upon the skills and experiences he'd gained during his incredible journey. The project officially ended, but its impact on his life was permanent. He had crowdsourced his destiny and ended up happier and more fulfilled than when he started. Mike's story is a powerful reminder of the strange and wonderful possibilities of the internet. It shows that an online community can be more than just a collection of anonymous trolls. It can be a force for adventure, connection, and even love. He took a massive gamble, and thanks to the collective and mostly benevolent whims of the internet, it paid off in the most unexpected way. His life is proof that sometimes the craziest ideas led to the most extraordinary stories. Thanks for watching. What's the craziest decision you'd let the internet make for you? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating tales from the wild world we live in. See you next time.